What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Established and Run NBA Injury Show. I'm Mike Gallagher, and I still got the Greek background from the Goga party last night. It was lit with Goga. Too bad it party ended a little early, but fun night with the GOAT, Justin Fan. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Yeah, excited to talk this slate. A lot of interesting stuff. We just got Gobert right before we went
Yeah,
on. How to push it back a little bit, but yeah, it's a fun slate.
yeah, man. Against the Pistons, who beat them. So really, really interesting stuff. Yeah, you see the slate here. Got a lot of early games, a lot of sevens, a couple of 7:30s. Nice even slate. I love where it's like that. Big slate too. So we've got I think 15 questionable tags. So a lot to get to. I'm gonna start with the late scratch bowl with the Clippers playing the 76ers. So we've got questionable tags, and Seth Curry being listed probably means he's playing. He's questionable. We got Marcus Morris questionable after a personal injury, which is a late ad. And then Nick Batum only missed a game for protocol, so may have been an inconclusive test or close contact, whatever it was. So, what any input on these questionables and anything else? Worth noting too, they started Charlie Brown over Cork in the last game.
Yeah, so you want to talk Philly first, right?
Whichever you can pick.
Yeah, so I mean, the Seth Curry, if he doesn't play, it becomes pretty bad for the Sixers. They're super
Yeah,
thin, already without Shake Milton, Matisse Thybulle, and Danny Green. So you'll probably see Korkmaz and Charlie Brown Jr. start together on the wing, and mid-20s minutes for Isaiah Joe off the bench too.
yeah,
Zero interest in Isaiah Joe though. He like out of 590 players, he ranks like 510th in per 36 value. So no no appeal there. But I mean,
no
if Seth,
schmo.
yeah, if Seth misses, it would be massive minutes for Tyrese Maxey.
Hmm.
Probably get up to like 40. Could see like 35, 36 for Korkmaz too. So yeah, I mean, they really need Seth Curry to play in the spot. Just dire. I mean, they probably run like an 8-man rotation.
Yeah.
If he misses with Isaiah Joe, Niang, and Drummond off the bench, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, for sure. We know Doc will play Maxi stupid minutes, as you mentioned too. So yeah, see a little bit of Charlie Brown. I like him for defense. I thought he was going to start actually when this first started happening. So I think he sticks. Do you think he sticks regardless, or they go back to Cork? I think he kind of sticks.
Yeah, I think he sticks. I mean, he was a nominal starter last game. He played what 17
Yeah.
minutes, 16 and a half in that blowout win. So
Yep.
yeah, I think they can start him and feel good bringing Korkmaz off that
Yep.
bench.
Yeah, I agree. And worth noting, Joel Embiid's usage rate in the last 8 games is 42. Um,
Yeah,
they've just been
yeah,
feeding the pig, as Doc likes to say. Yeah. So
yeah.
want to take Clippers?
Yeah, so last game we saw. I don't really have a too strong a lean on either of
Hmm.
Morris or Batum. The Clippers are going to Clipper. Their injury report is always all over the place, and you never really know what to expect. So yeah, we saw Terrence Mann, Serge Ibaka start for them on Wednesday in that thrilling game against Denver. Was it right?
Hmm. Yep.
Um, Terrence Mann, 34 and a half minutes in regulation. Serge played just 14 in regulation. They kind of spread it out on the bench. Bledsoe, Kennard, Brandon Boston Jr. also like mid-20s in terms of minutes. The big leader here was Ivica Zubac.
Mm.
He played pretty big minutes. He 28% usage was his highest of any game this season. Really took it to Jokic in this spot, and really good spot for Reggie Jackson again. Especially if Marcus Morris misses, he led all Clippers players with a 29.5% usage rate. So yeah, I am a little wary of chasing the Zubac stats just because he gets his
Mhm.
matchup against Embiid, and there's definitely foul risk there for him. But yeah, I mean, what's your take on Jackson and Zubac, assuming if Morris and Batum have to miss another game here.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, their foundation of their whole offense was pick and roll with Reggie and Zoo, so I think that'll be the case again. Sixers are pretty good pick and roll defense, as you said. They're also a pretty good defense overall, so I don't think it's as attractive. Like you said, probably not chasing that, especially against Embiid. That's usually generally a no-no. So I'd probably fade, but yeah, the usage should be really good. And again, they're like missing Thibault, missing Green, missing like so many wing defenders. Maybe Reggie Jackson gets it going. He's been a little inconsistent, but you like to see him get the minutes up there and finally get some usage, and there will be a lot available if Morris does miss hometown game for Morris. Maybe he might be having fun instead of playing basketball. We'll see. I do want to add to that if these guys play, there was a quote from Ty Lue saying he was excited about the second unit being
Yeah.
Luke Kennard, Mann, Hartenstein, and Bledsoe. So if everybody's back, it'll kind of be a 9-man rotation with those guys going back in the starting lineup. And also worth noting, Seth Curry has had this ankle injury before, so definitely a chance he misses there. Moving along to the Hornets, we've got PJ Washington hurt again with a hip injury. He is questionable, suffered in the last game. I don't think he returned. I think they called him questionable return, and he didn't, if I remember. You can correct me on that. So any leans there on his availability?
No, no strong link because we didn't get really any follow up on him, and
Mm-hmm.
you follow the PR account, and that's about it. I haven't heard anything from Borrego specifically. So yeah, so if he misses, so he played 19 minutes last game. I think it's pretty straightforward where the minutes go to. So Gordon
Mm-hmm.
Hayward played just 21 minutes because of foul trouble, right? He should play like 35, 36 usually. So that's like 14, 15 of those 19 minutes right there. If Washington misses, and then Bridges played 34, he can get up to like 37, 38. That's another couple of Washington's minutes. So I don't think you'll see someone enter the rotation even if PJ Washington misses. I think if it's close, they'll probably keep it to just 8 players. Ish Smith was a DNP. They don't really need Nick Richards' size in this matchup against OKC. OKC bottom 5 in offensive rebound percentage, bottom 7 in overall rebound percentage. They're not a team you need traditional size for, especially their best center right now is Muscala, who's out there launching threes. So so I think it's probably pretty tight with an 8-man rotation if Washington has to miss this one.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with everything you said there. We'll add to just to knock out the OKC side of this game. Kenrich Williams expected to return here after he's been out with protocols. So that changes the dynamic of a lot of stuff. We've seen like Aaron Wiggins get his minutes extended. Dagno really toughed up Wiggins, so I think he may start here. He may actually draw the Miles Bridges assignment here, which could be pretty good for Bridges. I think LaMelo gets Dort. And then I actually think Rozier could kind of go ham against SGA there too. But having Kenrich back in the mix takes so much off the table for Bazie's upside and all that. Anything you just want to add on OKC?
Yeah, Diakite is probably out of the rotation. I think he signed another 10-day today, but he's been seeing rotation minutes lately, so I think he'd just be booted altogether with Kenrick back.
Yeah, for sure. And also, we'll see the Ty Jerome minutes go away as well. We've seen him kind of enter the rotation and pick up more time in almost like the Kenrich role. They play a little bit smaller with Mann and Wiggins playing a little bit up bigger than they're used to. Moving on to a lot of Hawks questionables. We got Clint Capella, questionable, Gorgie Jang, illness, and then always questionable Danilo Gallinari. I know we got some shoot around news there. What's up with the Hawks?
Yeah, no shoot around for Danilo Gallinari. Nate McMillan said Capella is feeling better today, which makes me feel a little optimistic about his chances of playing. Capella has missed the last 6 games. So I would imagine he'd be a little limited in his return, especially with how well Onyeka Okongwu has been playing as of late. So, kind of leaning, I guess, Capella playing, Gallinari not. And in that case, I think Capella, Okongwu split the center minutes down the, not really down the middle, but just kind of split the 48 or most of them between those two. We've seen Gallinari play some center in the past. So I don't think we'll see that today. We'll see more of a kind of a straightforward split there between those two. And then, McMillan said it's probably an opportunity for Kevin Knox if Gallinari can't go. But I don't expect Kevin Knox to play a ton of minutes if Gallinari is even out because, like I said, they'll kind of play it straightforward at center, and there's just kind of like backup minutes for behind John Collins at the 4 for Kevin Knox. So I'm not really much interest there. We'll probably see we'll see Kevin Huerter get another start for Bogdan Bogdanovic, who's still out, and then Lou Williams stays in the rotation. Maybe get up his trade value. We'll see what happens with him. But yeah, anything else you have to add on this? But Trae Young's been going absolutely nuts as of late too.
Yeah, they put Jimmy on him the last time they played too, and held his usage down quite a bit. One of his lower usage games in a while. But I'll add that Chris Kirshner of the Athletic, who's really good. He reminds me of like Trent Krim, the Independent from Ted Lasso, right? With the way he asks questions, he was like talking about like a combo, like taking over as a starter, and like McMillan was like not having it. But Combo was good against Cat, especially in the second half. So they really he's not like a help defender anymore. They're like letting John Collins do that role. So like I think I was like writing that like I don't really like the spot for Bam if Okongwu's starting, which sounds like insane to me, given how bad the Hawks are. But I think Jimmy could be in a really big spot matchup wise. Coming off of an ejection, I'm always excited to see Jimmy just go off.
That was so tilting. I had some Jimmy
Dude,
Butler for sure. That obviously I know people played him heavy in DFS. He's the
yep.
best value of all the high end
Hmm.
options on that slate. Just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, my matchups covered boy that day. Hate to see it when matchups get ejected or hurt. Also, yeah, I think that. Anything else? I guess let's just want to hit Miami while we're here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, go for it. You want to just get
Yeah,
the lead on that?
so yeah, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero out again. We last 2 games without Kyle Lowry. Bam Adebayo, 25% usage, which leads the team. Hero technically leads it, but he's out today,
Hmm.
obviously. So yeah, really good role for Bam in his 2 games back. We saw the minutes 32 that first game, 32 and a half last game, and like I said, the usage was healthy. A little helped
Yeah.
last game by the Jimmy Butler ejection at the end of the first half, but still, plenty to be optimistic about. Like you said, the matchup is not ideal, against a combination of Okongwu and Capella.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, though, he's their
Yeah.
point guard, essentially. I know
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent is like their point guard on paper, but Jimmy Butler, 37% assist percentage in the last 2 games without Kyle Lowry. Next highest is Gabe Vincent at 19%. So, like, Jimmy's another, like, really big spot for Jimmy. Just got a fade, really another ejection in the spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
before so we saw Jimmy, like, he got ejected like 2 minutes, 2:30 left in the first half, right? So we got a pretty
Mhm.
good look at what their first half rotation was
Yeah.
without Lowry, without Hero. Max Strus played 17 in the first half. Gabe Vincent played 16 and a half. Caleb Martin, 13 and a half. Kyle Guy, 11. Kyle Guy was the guy we were thinking, is he in the rotation? Is he not? Definitely in the
Yeah.
rotation. 11 first half minutes. And then Duncan Robinson played 10 first half minutes, which was really disappointing.
Yeah.
He played
Strus
fewer
is
than. Yeah, Strus is
yeah.
balling.
Yeah, shoot straight. Like well, man, we had an over on him, or at least I rogued it, and he had like one. It took forever to get over the hump to clear the over. But yeah, I had so many Jimmy overs, dude. It was so tilting. Yeah, just also worth noting matchups wise, they don't play like hide the tray. They're gonna put him on Gabe Vincent. So like if Vincent gets going, like you see the minutes, they've been playing good minutes here. So like I think Vincent's like sneaky. I haven't seen his price, but if he's cheap, he's a guy I'm definitely looking at. But yeah, Tucker's mentioned, so as you mentioned, we kind of ironed out the rotation. Back to some questionables. Let's go up to Boston, and we've got some guards. Questionable Marcus Smart gets the reconditioning tag. You would think he's got a pretty good chance to play. Aaron
Yep.
Nesmith's ankle kept him out of practice. May not play. They don't even need him anyways.
Yeah.
So we're thinking Smart's probably back, right?
Yeah. I think it's pretty straightforward. Robert Williams, like a surprise late minute scratch. He's not in the injury report. We'll have to keep an eye on that if he's like another late minute scratch again. But yeah, I think it's pretty standard. Robert Williams back at center, Grant Williams to the bench, and then yeah, Smart back in there ahead of Schroeder, presumably. You're thinking Smart's probably limited a little bit minutes wise
Mm-hmm.
with the conditioning, right?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit cap. I think he guards CJ. Do you think so too, or no? I
Yeah,
think he
that
would
would
guard CJ, and then yeah, I was like, man, maybe they put him because Simons has been crazy, and he's been like so much ball handling. He's been bringing the ball up and stuff. That's kind of was like I was unsure, but
yeah,
yeah, I think man, like matchups wise, just real quick, like Brown could go ham if Nazier doesn't play because they're gonna put like Simons and McCollum on him, like and with Tatum getting a little limited by Rocco. I think Brown and Udoka's talked about like leading into who has the better matchup. Like I could see like a Brown like monster
totally.
in this one. But yeah, we'll see Grant Williams go back to the bench, assuming Papa Time Lord is back. Maybe have a little cap. We know that they've been careful with his minutes, but on the other side, they have upped him when he returns quite a bit too. Yeah, Nazir Little, as we just mentioned there, yeah, knee injury, something he was playing through, which he wasn't. He hurt himself in Orlando, wasn't listed on the injury report. Stop doing that, teams. So he got pulled out, did not return against the last one. The comments from Billis maybe seem like he's going to miss a guy that's had injury history as well. I'm kind of leaning out. So what do you agree, or anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, slightly out, and if he ends up missing, not really interested in many of
Yeah,
his. They kind of filled him in with what, like, Ellaby, Watford, McLemore, and Snell is just kind of like all
Snell,
middle.
yeah.
And in terms of minutes, and obviously we don't, we're never after the Snelly cat in terms of
Yeah.
DFS production. So yeah,
Yeah. I think
close.
Snell starts and gets against
Yeah.
Horford if Nazir doesn't go. And I think even they would probably go that route anyways. Oh no, they would put Nazir probably on Tatum if he goes, I think, and then still kind of have their rotation that way. Because it'd be nice to have Roko kind of like roaming on the back end of the defense. That kind of covers that one. Simon's been crazy. Side note.
Yeah.
Derek Favors. I don't even hit Derek Favors again. Gary Trent Jr. Warmed up 2 games ago. Game time. Didn't warm up. Got ruled out early. Puzzling. What's your leans there? Tough one.
My lean is he's going to be questionable and out for the rest of the season. That's my lean.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So I'm so over it. Like literally,
so annoying.
It's been 7 games that he's been out, 6 games I think that he's been out, and yeah, he's been questionable out for like 5 of them I think. So yeah, I mean I will lean that he plays, but this has been dragging out for a little longer than I expected. But yeah, I think if Trent's back, then you'll see. I mean, more of the same, right? Like Precious goes back to the bench, and Nurse continues to go with his psycho rotations where he's playing. I don't know how these guys make it to the playoffs. I mean, you're seeing Siakam and Van Vliet literally play average like 42 minutes a night of the last 6-7 games. It's like insane.
Yeah. He got a couple questions about it because like you have to ask that, and like someone asked this question about like mental toll, and like he phrased it in like such a long, drawn out way to set up what he was hoping would be a long question. Nick Nurse literally says, "quote Nope," and that's it. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh god. And like
I mean,
Siakam talked about it. The players are up for it.
Players like it. That they're saying like they're fine playing those minutes.
Yeah.
But we're in January, man. Like you gotta chill. Like you gotta pace yourself. Like maybe give like Steve Mahalik some minutes. Give Watson Bobby like 5 minutes. Like you can get these guys some breathers and not go totally insane. Like upper third is fine. You don't gotta go 43 minutes. It's wild.
Yeah. And he was like, they were asking him like how, because he got asked like 4 or 5 questions about it, phrased differently. And he was like, yeah, like he's basically saying like we're basically just gonna go 6 until they get Birch and Trent back, and then it'll be 8-man. Like it's funny. Like we see some coaches have like, oh, maybe I'll go 9.5, 10. Some guys even go 11. Like Nick Nurse's like long rotation is 8 players. It's so good. So we'll see what's up with that. I was surprised to find out like Scotty Barnes hasn't like lit up Washington. Like it seems like a defense he could really rack up points on, but he hasn't. Siakam ripped him up, 31 in 36 minutes the last time they played. They put Kuzma on him. If they go small, he'll see some Gafford. Like I think, man, Siakam's role is I called him like LeBron like for his role right now.
Yeah.
So I think the Raptors could really put some points up today.
Yeah, and we love targeting the Wizards front court too. So another in Siakam's cap, even if Gary Trent Jr. is back and he slides over to center.
Yep, definitely. And it's worth noting too that they did put Trent on Beal when they had most of their perimeter guys, but they missed some front court guys, so that kind of slid OG down. So like you honestly, if you want to play Beal, which I wouldn't recommend, you're like kind of hoping Trent plays because the OGs could take Beal out of this game a little bit. Moving on to the Nets. Fun game for the Spurs. I'm really into this game as far as DFS and just overs and stats and whatever. The Spurs are number 1 in offensive pace, and the Nets are actually 4th since Christmas. They've been playing significantly faster. We've got a couple questionables with the Nets. It sounds like they're unlikely to play with Daddy Clax, Nick Claxton, and DeAndre Bembry. Leans on those guys.
Isn't Claxton? Is he not doubtful?
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he. They updated.
He's technically got a Q tag, but it sounds like he's out.
Yeah. So they updated him this morning. I think unlikely to play. So, don't think we'll see him. I think Bembry's still questionable, and Millsap is out / on the trading block right now. So yeah, with knowing that Claxton, I think we'll see kind of the same thing. With Day'Ron Sharp, in the middle. Anything you kind of want to add here for Brooklyn, in this situation?
couple revenge spots for Patty Mills and LaMarcus, and I dug in. Like honestly, the reason why the matchup was so
Yeah,
late today is like I'm trying to figure out who's DeJounte going to guard. It's like mixed bag because he guarded Kyrie one, and like two other times he guarded Harden, and like it's been crazy. And like honestly, like so Galaxy brain mode. I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if like Lonnie Walker starts over Doug McDermott, and then Lonnie Walker gets the Harden matchup, and then Kyrie gets DeJounte. And because like if you remember, like way back, like before Lonnie Walker was even a thing, his breakout game was like when he locked Harden down. He went for like 25 or something in Houston, and like
yeah,
I feel like Pop knows that, and like I feel like he can kind of up Lonnie, and they don't need the extra size or even the shooting. Like they need like perimeter defense.
for
So
sure.
kind of galaxy braining a little bit on that one.
Yeah,
Pop's. I feel like, and he actually may even go to Vassell too. Like he's helped up Vassell a lot for
yeah,
ball containment. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vassell starts and gets the hard matchup either. But either way, Kyrie's been crazy good. He's so good one-on-one. He's about 29 points per 36 when it's with Harden without KD. So I really like him. We saw, man, LaMarcus went ham in a dream matchup against the Wizards. And as great as Jakob Poeltl is on the O glass, he's getting ripped up, giving up O boards. He's like too aggressive. And they're, I think, 29th in O board percentage allowed since Christmas. They've been getting ripped up by bigs on the glass. So LaMarcus, we saw the big minutes. I haven't seen his price, but he's possibly on the
yeah.
table. This game's gonna be so fast.
Yeah, and this spot you mentioned too, where you'll have some capable perimeter defenders on the other end, and Dejounte, Lonnie
Mm-hmm.
Walker, and that might funnel a little bit extra usage to someone like Aldridge too. And we love a little stroll down revenge
Yeah.
street. We love a good narrative. So yeah, I think Aldridge is pretty solid in this spot for sure.
Patty Mills, not a lot of usage here too. I'm tilting. I had an 8-legger under 15 and a half for Patty Mills.
Oh
Missed
no.
tilting. It was plus 5,500. I was like, God damn.
Wait,
But
did
anyways,
he hit it late or something, or when did he hit the
no, he
17?
hit it a little bit earlier. But like, God, that efficiency, man, 5 to 7.
Yeah,
And if he was
yeah,
4 to 7, it would have been Cash
yeah.
City.
Usually with that,
But
usually if you see that usage and those projections, you're probably hitting the under.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
that's rough.
yeah. Thankfully, we hit a herb under last night.
Yeah,
Herb will be on the
that hell, that was wild. He played down the stretch too. It's like,
yeah.
please just
I thought we
ride,
were
keep
cooked,
riding,
dude.
yeah, keep riding Jose Alvarado. Like that dude, just
Yeah,
like,
man, what a cool story.
yeah,
Yeah, we
awesome.
had under 11 and a half on Herb, and he had
Yeah,
11 going into the fourth, and Ben Ingram
yeah,
got hurt. Like, oh, this is cooked, dude.
yeah.
But
And
it held up. So it's
the game got kind of close at the end, and you're
yeah,
like, shit, he's close, and he's gonna be on the court. Yeah, it's not.
yeah,
It was a fun
yeah.
sled.
What a cool story for. Did you hear the backstory with Alvarado? Like Josh Hart and Brandon Ingram bought 20 tickets because he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Like that's so dope. Like he was like
yeah,
getting emotional after the game. Really cool story.
yeah. That interview was
But
awesome. After. That was
yeah,
awesome.
for sure. I was getting like teary eyed. Okay, back on track. Got a couple Killians, different game. Killian Hayes banged his hip in the last game. Wasn't back to back. Didn't play in the last game. This is his bad hip that he had surgery on last year. But just a bruise. I think he's got a chance to play. They might not even want to play him, honestly. But what's your lean here in Utah?
Yeah, I think it's close 50-50. Like you said, I
Mm-hmm.
think given his history, they might want to err on the side of caution, hold him out. I wouldn't be surprised. Also this team is kind of deep in the tank, and there's no real reason to push it in the spot, especially against a Utah Jazz team in Utah where they're 13-point underdogs. So yeah, we saw Corey Joseph start for Killian last game, 37 minutes, got up to 39 FanDuel points. Cade was in foul trouble pretty much throughout in the entire game. It was limited to just 21 minutes. It led to Rodney playing
Yeah,
32 and a half minutes off the bench. So yeah. We also saw Kelly Olynyk, really limiting Isaiah Stewart as well. Both of them played 21, 22 minutes apiece. So yeah, what do you make of this? The spot for the Pistons. They're 13-point underdogs right now.
yeah, they beat Utah in Detroit
Yeah,
earlier. Cade went ham down the stretch, ripped up Royce O'Neal. Like Royce guarded him, and he was not having it. He put it on him. So yeah, now we got Gobert questionable. Like I think they might be able to hang. Like honestly, as I was saying, like not
yeah,
having Killian, like Kojo was really good
yeah,
against the Kings. So I think they could maybe hang, especially when it coming back. Like they've got a little bit more depth in the second unit. And I
Also,
don't think that they maybe blow them out, especially with Gobert, which we can kind of
also
get
a
into.
note. Also, note last game they were 13-point favorites against the Rockets and they lost by 5. So
Yeah. And I should add on Rodney McGruder, two things. One, everyone thought he was out because all the DFS sites had him out. And
yeah,
two, man, forgotten narrative for Clay, like ripping up Rodney McGruder like years
yeah,
ago. He goes off. I
my
can't
favorite.
believe I forgot that, but it's so good. Yeah, so Gobert gets that questionable tag, changes things. I'll set you up a little bit, man. Last game, Boyan smash,
Mhm.
50 front court touches, almost doubled his front court touches. As like Mike Conley's just washed now.
Yeah,
Didn't get enough Jordan Clarkson minutes. Jordan Clarkson drove it 15 times, so he was like aggressive here. And like Quinn Snyder after the game, he was like discouraged, talking about how poorly they're playing right now, and they are.
yeah.
So like I don't think it's crazy to start Clarkson just to kind of get inject some life into the offense, which has been you can only score 111 at home against the Rockets. Like that's pretty embarrassing even without Mitchell. So like obviously not having Gobert, man, they are gonna if Gobert doesn't play, like they're gonna just live off Boyan in the post and getting him in the paint more. So it would be an even better spot if Gobert doesn't play, and it would be probably a little bit of a tighter spread.
Yeah, I think so. I think Boyan actually leads the all Jazz players in usage rate differential this season with Donnie Mitchell off the floor. And we saw that last game against the Rockets. His usage
Yeah.
shot up all the way up to 36%, led all players again. And yeah, I think Clarkson needs to play a little bit more than 29 minutes in this spot.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I mean, Joe Ingles, I mean, he's been cheap, but this dude just doesn't like to shoot. I mean, his usage is just
Yeah.
like minuscule. It was like what 13% last game. Royce O'Neal was like 6% usage last game. Like these two just don't like they just like you see Joe Ingles, like his shot is not falling this year just in general. All his percentages
Mm-hmm.
are down. You see it too because he gets these wide open threes and he's just passing on it, right? Like it's wild. So yeah, I mean another really good spot for Bogdanovich. They're playing Detroit. They actually like you mentioned they added some size with the Olynyk being back. But Isaiah Stewart's a little smaller. So what do you think the split here minutes wise is at center between Udoka Azubuike and Rudy Gay, who's available today?
Yeah. So the last game he started Azubuike, that he had a cap and they really needed him, right? Against I forget who they played, but it was somebody big. Was it
Mhm.
Jokic? It might be Jokic. So they don't need to go there against Isaiah Stewart. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gay like gets a pretty good amount, especially against Olynyk. So I think Gay will get the lion's share of it. I think he can get pretty close to maybe 27, 28, and Azubuike filling in mid teens.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So yeah, yeah, another really good spot for Bogdanovich. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
kind of prioritize him at this point as the number one, like without Donnie, right? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I think he can really go off. I don't think they have anyone that's really that great of a defender. So, yeah, he was like the only really good player. That I think Clarkson goes off too. Like I think
yeah,
I just have a feeling he's just going to be chucking just because of the comments from Schneider. And he's just like whenever like your offense isn't quite clicking, just like give it your best scorer is kind of always my mentality there.
for sure.
Another Killian with the Grizzlies. He got upgraded to questionable. They're still missing all their backcourt depth. We have seen Brandon Clark play a lot. Like he like subs in as a four, but like, he guards a lot of threes, just with how their defensive functions. But obviously no Tyus Jones. We saw John Morant. I mean, he does not hit 39 like ever. They went on him all the way against the Bucks. So I expect huge minutes from Morant. He said it'd be by committee. Taylor Jenkins was filling in minutes, but I think they're happy with Conchar. He got wrecked though, minus 29, and they probably. Do you think they go to Melton here? I feel like they like him off the bench. They don't really need the ball pressure,
Yeah,
so I kind of think Conchar starts again.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Hmm.
disappointing to see Melton only play 17 in that spot.
Yeah, dude.
I thought he played more like upper 20s.
Yeah, that's Melton's so tilting. Like he's so good, but they
I
just
know.
won't play him. But this Killian Tilly, does that take Culver out? Does that take Tillman out? Probably. Could Clark's minute ceiling come down a little bit?
Yeah, I would say I would kind of lean towards Clark and coming down a little bit, then Tillman just getting the boot out of the rotation.
Hmm.
Wouldn't expect a ton of minutes for Tilly in his return, but yeah, enough to kind of put a little bit of a dent in Brandon Clark's ceiling.
Yeah, but against Joker, they might keep him out there, but he won't be. I mean, those non-Joker minutes aren't going to really matter. They could just throw like Jaren out there for whatever they do. I don't think
Yeah.
it's really a big issue. Adams has actually held Joker in check a pretty decent amount. I think he's only like 23 points per 36, which for Jokers, kind of, and like his dimes are down, his boards are down. So not the biggest Joker spot. Adams is a big, large, strong man. Anything else Grizzlies wise? I think that kind of covers that one.
Who is he that just carried like a small child the other day? See that?
That was so good.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so let's talk to some good news for the Magic. Bad news is RJ Hampton's going to miss some time. Good news, Wendell Carter Jr. is finally back. I think he missed 7 games with a hamstring. So hamstrings are always ramp ups. So we know he won't get a full load. They took a long time to ramp up Mo Bamba, who shot past fatigue, according to their acting coach. I forget his name, Murmurs or something. So yeah, what kind of minutes expectation are you expecting for Wendell? And do you think this takes Robin Lopez out entirely? Or do you think anybody else could kind of get in the mix? They're pretty sure. Well, Terrence Russ also got hurt, and it's not an injury report from the injury too. So how are you setting this rotation up with Wendell back?
So probably like mid-20s, maybe upper 20s for Wendell. He's missed the last 7 games, so expect him to ease him back. I would expect Gary Harris probably goes to the bench now. They start Cole, Suggs, Franz, Wagner, Wendell, and Mo Bamba. And I think they run like a 9-man rotation with Gary Harris, Terrence Ross, Chuma, and Robin Lopez off the bench. So yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. And yeah, Terrence Ross has just seen his minutes and usage just slashed dramatically over the last couple of games with Jalen Suggs back. So yeah, even if he's available, yeah, I mean he's taking a big backseat now.
Yeah, and I'll add too. Suggs will get the non-point guard minutes from Cole, but I could see Cole's minutes coming real high, and one of the best matchups you could ask for against the Lakers. So, I'm not the biggest Cole guy, but we haven't really seen Cole pop off in a little bit. But this could be the spot for him to pop off. Also, Jalen Suggs. Well, go ahead.
I would only say that like the only detractor there is like Suggs is in the starting lineup now, and like Cole's usage definitely takes a bit of a hit with Suggs, like playing next to Suggs. That's my only concern with Cole there. But like, yeah, I love the matchup, obviously.
Yeah. What else is yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. And Bamba, man, what a game from him against Embiid, smashing on each other. Yeah, like it was crazy. He was talking about like we weren't supposed to play him that much, but like they even called him tired and they kept playing him because he was so good there.
Yeah,
So
going to the bench a couple of games ago, from going to the bench to playing 38 against Embiid, like pretty big ramp up.
Foul out 7 and 8 from 3, total baller. We got some Nuggets added to the team here. Boogie and Bryn Forbes. Do you think they're going to get rotation minutes tonight?
I could see it. I think Forbes especially, and the Reed minutes are very vulnerable, especially for Forbes. I mean, they traded some, a pick to get him, and yeah, I mean, they really need that spacing around Jokic in general. So I really think unless there's some hold up there, I would expect Forbes to be in the rotation tonight straight away.
Yeah, I agree. And they could see Boogie. We've seen a lot of the Zeke Naji front court stuff. So without JaMychal, like maybe they get him in there. But nothing to be excited about. He's not going to play next to Joker, so not enough upside there. Just some other stuff that I want to hit that's mostly the same. I do want to talk some Chicago. I'll set you up a little bit here. There's some quotes from, I mean, if you saw the Cavs game, like they used him against the front court guys, like against Mobley and those dudes. He did a pretty good job. So like that begs the question: are they like comfortable with him guarding Giannis? And like I kind of think they are. So like my God, that's just like a meme potential with Giannis being guarded by Alex Caruso. We saw him have a minutes cap. We saw basically McKinney just get deaded right away. Ayu got the Garland assignment like almost exclusively, which I was mildly surprised. I thought it would be a little bit more of Caruso, but it was not. Caruso just changed the game. I mean, plus 18, and he was just so awesome off the bench. But do you think Caruso starts? What kind of minutes are we expecting?
Yeah, I mean they're over McKinney. I mean, I just they're looking for any excuse to not play him, and they only played him because they played the biggest team in the league in Cleveland, where they're starting Markin and Mobley and Allen, right? So they figured, okay, we'll just throw some size out there. But like Caruso, yeah, he's guarded some big guys, some much bigger guys
Mm-hmm.
before. And this is a spot, where I could definitely see him getting some time on Giannis as well. So I'd be surprised if McKinney gets a start again. Well, he played 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Which I think wasn't it Troy Brown Jr. that got the start in his place in the second half, I believe.
I think
Or
so.
was it?
Yeah.
Yes, I think Troy Brown played 26 off the bench. So
Yeah.
this is Caruso. I bet on the Cavs last game, and I was really surprised at how good Caruso looked after missing
Yeah.
a month. He was in there making a huge impact on their defense, forcing turnovers. I think he's ready to move back in the starting lineup and see maybe upper 20s in terms of minutes.
Yeah, this is Caruso's matchups for defensive, and not the end all be all for stats, but it's what a mixed bag, right? Rose, McCollum, Randall, Lowry, all Paul George, he's crazy. I put him. I did a top 10 perimeter defender list for DFS, avoid spots. I think I put him third.
Yeah.
So I love me some Caruso, but man, he's giving him so much size to Giannis. I think I hate narratives, but Embiid's going ham, Jokic is going ham, Steph Curry's losing grip on the MVP. I could see Giannis going bonkers, 50 points, 17 boards, 10 dimes, crazy stat line. My off base national TV game, come on.
Yeah, that MVP race is wide open, man. I would say, Steph had a stranglehold on it for a little bit. The Warriors have sputtered pretty significantly as a team overall since then. And Embiid's made a big push. Joker's made a big push, with that absurd pass to Aaron Gordon in the corner the other night, it's wide open. Giannis is obviously in the mix as well. So I'm with you.
Definitely. Do you want to add anything for the Lakers really quick? Obviously, Westbrook, I'm sure everyone's heard enough about it. I don't know if you want to add anything. I guess the question is, do you think Dwight starts again? Revenge?
Yeah. They're playing a bigger front court with Wendell Carter Jr. and Mo Bamba. And Dwight actually played pretty damn well. Vogel has been kind of all over the place with the rotations and the minutes. But Dwight, look at his plus minus. I think it was plus -3 relative to other. Yeah. He was pretty good relative to all the other starters. So I think he should play. He should start again, and presumably play more than 13 minutes. It's wild to see Melo out there for 30 minutes in that first game back from that back injury, just getting lit up on defense.
Yeah, that was bad. And just kind of a side note, look how many big front courts they've run into lately. Atlanta, Memphis, Sacramento's not, Denver, Utah, Indy, Miami. All this. They got Miami coming up. They'll probably go small there. But I'm with you on Dwight. RIP Westbrook, man. It's such a get right spot for him here. I don't think I could go there. Eighth, we covered that. Nothing really. Oh, I guess we should just the Warriors. They haven't filed yet. Steph played 44 minutes. What an embarrassing loss. We got no Clay. We got no Iggy. Shout out to Iggy for getting the over assist in overtime. That was great. But anything you want to add? Just overall takes on the Warriors. What an egg to lay. And Kuminga, no questions about Kuminga after the game. Steve Kerr was blaming himself because he's I screwed up at the rotations. Dude, why are you playing JTA that much? That dude, he loves him, man. I guess the question here too, the main question probably is who starts. He should add too. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But he has asked about Jordan Poole, and he said he's quote really struggling right now, and they got to find a good rhythm for him. So I kind of think they start GP2, given the Kevin Porter Jr. assignment there. Are you with me? And do you think Kuminga starts?
Yeah, I was leaning towards Poole, but I could see GP2 starting for sure. Poole is just in his head, clearly. And he was missing these wide open threes, and he wasn't just missing; he was missing them badly. He had one in the corner, the side of the backboard or something. He's a mess right now. So I could see him coming off the bench here, like you said, GP2 getting the KPJ assignment. I think Kuminga. They have OPJ back today too. So they could start him in this spot as well. So either way, I think Kuminga is minute ceiling is super fragile and very risky. Especially with they obviously still have JTA and then OPJ added to the mix. So would not go to the Kuminga well today. I mean, the Clay absence is actually pretty important just because he's seen 29% plus usage in 5 of the 6 games. Like his usage rate since his return is just off the charts. So opens up a good amount of usage for these other guys in a nut matchup against the league's worst defense in Houston. So I mean, this should be a good spot for a lot of these guys, and I expect them to bounce back here after that embarrassing loss to the Fort Wayne Mad Ants last night. So, Steph looks great though. I mean, he looks great. I mean, a little concerned playing 44 minutes last night, but I think he should be good to go in the spot.
Yeah, Kerr said he wants to keep it around 35 tonight. So 35 minutes against the Rockets, he could do a lot of damage. And just going back to Poole really quick, somewhat surprisingly, like his efficiency is like only a tick higher with Curry, which is like against every fiber of my being. Like we've seen just year after year after year after year of players being like substantially more efficient winning next to Curry. So I don't know. It kind of makes sense too to like start him, but like I don't know, man. KPJ's balling. I think it makes sense to put GP2 out there, but it could be like if he's not starting, I'm terrified to look at anything Poole related there. Anything else? I think we covered pretty much every team situation that matters.
Yeah, let me look at my list. I think you're right. Yeah, don't have anything else. I think we hit them all.
Sweet. All right. That's it. Weekend. Any fun weekend plans? You're Dink smelling the roses, living his best life. What do you got anything going on?
No, man, just grind and just working as usual. It's tough to get away. I have to kind of plan things like really far in advance and to swap shifts around because it's just 3 of us, the man and the feet. So it's it'll be a fun weekend though. We got NFL going on, and it's when Niners are my team. So big win last week, and just hoping we go to Lambeau and pull this one out too.
Oh, dope! I'll be rooting for it. I don't really have any. I'm a Jets fan, so I never have a dog in the fight. So it's bad, man. That's why I honestly say that's why I like basketball. I'm a stupid Jets fan. All right, so you're the man. This is so dope. Thanks everyone for watching, guys. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back next week.